Happy New Year. This is the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast. I'm your host, Steve Gill. This is part of the Fanatical Elves Network, which is part of the Fans First Sport Network. Well, after Thursday night, the Browns clinched the number 5 seed in the NFL playoffs, and unfortunately, nothing changed. Miami, who has a habit of allowing really good teams beat the crap out of them, let the Baltimore Ravens beat the crap out of them. I think Baltimore was still pissed from that game last year where they were up by 20 and lost to Miami. But anyway, so playoff is pretty much done. The Browns will play the winner of the AFC South, which will come down to this weekend coming up. Jacksonville travels here to Nashville, take on the floundering Titans, and the Texans and the Colts play each other. So, if the Jags win, Browns go to Jacksonville. Simple. If the Jags lose to the Titans, which is possible, then the winner of the Texans-Colts game will host the Browns. Doesn't matter. They're all AFC South teams. Kevin Stefanski, as the head coach of the Browns, has never lost to an AFC South team. He is 10-0. I'm not worried about it. I really am not. The Browns are going to get healthy this weekend because of the late games on Sunday. I watched Cincinnati blow it against Kansas City, a not very good Kansas City team. Is there anybody out there who's a Browns fan who is really worried about the Kansas City Chiefs this year? I'm not. And they were eliminated, thank goodness. So this game is a rest your starter game, with the exception of the offensive line, because they really don't have any backups on the offensive line. They're already playing them. So I expect Michael Dunn to play, and you'll see Nick Harris at center. But the tackles will start because they are, the backups. So a long list of backups are going to be player. You're not going to see Joe Flacco, thank goodness. You're going to see PJ Walker. You're not going to see Myles Garrett. You're not going to see Denzel Ward. You're going to see a lot of backups in that game. Cincinnati, I don't know who they're going to play. They may want to try and make a statement for next year. It's going to be a lousy game. I can tell you that right now. I'm still going to watch it. I'm still going to go to the Brown Specker Club one last time to watch it as we get ready for the playoffs. Over the weekend, I made 2 bold predictions at the beginning of the season. I said Cincinnati would not win the AFC North because no team since the formation of the AFC North has won it 3 times. Boom. The other prediction I've been making is that Mike Tomlin would have his first losing season. That's not going to happen. Congratulations. 17, this is, let's give him some props. 17 straight years without a losing season. That's impressive. You got to give him some credit on that. And congratulations, you're probably going to be mid-level draft pick, and if they're smart, they'll probably take a cornerback. I've seen some mock drafts, and they're taking a corner. I personally take an offensive lineman. If you're going to trot out Kenny Pickett, Trubisky, or the new flavor of the month, Mason Rudolph, you're going to need some offensive linemen. But I was very impressed with that win at Seattle. I mean, to this day, I don't know how the Browns lost to Seattle. But anyway, so eating crow on that. So now we wait. Still some things to be decided. Baltimore is going to be the number 1 seed. They're going to host the Steelers. You got to wonder how many starters Baltimore will play. If they're smart, none. It doesn't matter. You've got, like I said, the AFC South still has to be determined. Kansas City clinched the AFC West. So everything that's set in stone. Buffalo still trying to make it in. Pittsburgh still has a slight chance. I think it's like 28%. It doesn't matter. They won't last past the first round. So we're sitting here. We're getting ready to go to the playoffs. We got to go to Cincinnati. We got to play a meaningless game where all the starters are rested. I would like to see a few of the starters in just to keep everything kind of, I don't know. I hate when preseason when they rest starters and they come out rusty in the first game, but I trust Kevin Stefanski. Bowl games are going on today. I have to root for Alabama. Excuse me, Alabama, because they're playing Michigan. Ohio State laid a goose egg Friday night. Oh, that was disgusting. I looked like they were getting ready for a scrimmage. It just, yeah. Ryan Day better wake up because he's about to get fired. But anyway, so Browns, playoffs. If I had a preference of the 3 AFC South teams to play, I would rather play Jacksonville. They had the better odds right now, considering they're going to come here to Nashville and play a terrible Titans team. They're kind of limping into the playoffs. They play on Sunday, same time as the Browns, noon here in Nashville, 1:00 Eastern. I think Jacksonville's favored by 4. Over under is like less than 40 points. So I would rather play Jacksonville than I don't know. I think they could beat the Colts and Houston. I watched a little of the Texans game and Titans game yesterday, and I just, even with CJ Stroud, I wasn't that impressed offensively. Defensively, they're very, very good. They got Will Anderson back. And they sacked the Titans quarterback like every other play. So I would rather play Jacksonville. So now we end the season on a rest day. The Browns will have 10 days to get everybody healthy. Don't know anything about Elijah Moore yet. You hear different things on the internet that he should retire and that he'll be all right for the playoffs. It's a wide spectrum. I am not a doctor, and I don't get my diagnosis from Twitter on any mental or physical health problems. So let's wait and see. They're not going to sign Jarvis Landry. Everybody get that out of your head. You have Austin Watkins and Jaden Darden on the practice squad. I fully expect one of those to be put on the active roster before that game. Let's get of the two, Darden can do more than Watkins. Watkins is strictly a outside wide receiver. That's it. Doesn't play special teams. So that limits his potential. Darden can play special teams. He's a returner. He knows how to do things like Josh Cribbs did when he was in his heyday. So I expect Darden to be elevated from the practice squad. Why not? Let's get a little repetition. You might need him. As for the kickers, I expect Bojorquez to be ready for the playoffs. I also expect Dustin Hopkins to be ready for the playoffs. So it's getting real time. So we'll find out Sunday who we play. Then if the Browns can win their first playoff game, which Joe Flacco has 7 road victories, tied with Tom Brady. So, and if you're saying, well, where's Patrick Mahomes? He never plays on the road in playoffs. So I'm not worried about Joe Flacco. I'm not worried about the offense. They have gotten better every week with him playing. The defense has stepped up, and they should be ready for a playoff game. Playoffs, Browns, playoffs. You got to love this. But anyway, all right, so that's it. I'll do another show next week on Monday after the Browns-Bengals game. Hopefully the Browns will win, just for the sake of making Cincinnati 0-6 in the AFC North. Yikes. And it would be nice to end on a high note. 12-5 would be great. But I'll take whatever I get as long as the Browns are healthy going into the playoffs. So if they beat the AFC South, I believe the playoffs are reseeded. So the first weekend of the Browns, oh my goodness, Cincinnati is favored 4.5 this weekend. That's not going to go well. So if some divisional winners will lose in the first round, that would be great. It might be till the AFC Championship game, if the Browns make it, that they would host a home playoff game. I'd like to see one in the second round, but a lot would have to happen. So Happy New Year, everybody. I know a lot of people do New Year's Eve New Year's resolutions. I don't. I try to be a better person every day of my life. I don't need to have make a promise to the world on a certain day to be a better person. I try to be a better person every day. I try to be patient. I try to listen, and I try to speak when it's important to speak. I wish everyone a Happy New Year. Browns fans, enjoy the ride. We got one more game. Let's beat the Bengals, roll into the playoffs. So everybody, thanks for joining me today on the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sport Network. Go Browns.